start with the introduction. Introduction consists trend analysis, financial ratio analysis, and camel analysis. Trend analysis, also known as horizontal analysis, is used to detect market trend by simply comparing two accounting periods of financial statements. This enables company to detect any growth and red flags. Next is the financial ratio analysis. Is a quantitative analysis obtained by using the value from financial statements. In this study, we collect for 5 years of the bank financial analysis starting from 2016 to 2020. There are 5 types of financial ratios, starting from profitability, liquidity, asset quality, capital adequacy, and lastly is the management soundness. The importance of financial ratio analysis is to measure effectiveness and efficiency of the financial planning. Besides, it also to improve understanding on the market trend. Lastly, it is very important for the stakeholder to value the company. Last but not least is camel analysis, which is an approved international rating system. The component of camel is represented by the acronym, which is the first one, capital adequacy, asset quality, management competence, earning capacity, and lastly is liquidity position.
Hi, so today I will explain about the backgrounds of Bank Islam Berhad. Bank Islam Berhad was officially launched in 1983. The establishment of Bank Islam is due to the increasing number of Muslims who have no choice but to keep their money in the conventional banks that are not Sharia compliant. So, lembaga tabung haji play an important role in the establishment of Bank Islam Berhad, which benefits the Muslim community in Malaysia to facilitate the public to fulfill their 5 pillars of Islam. Apart from that, there are 3 main figures that involve in the establishment of Bank Islam Berhad, which are Datuk Zamani Abdul Ghani, is the chairman of the Bank Islam Berhad. Datuk Sri Zukri Samad is the managing director, and Dr. Ahmad Shabari or Sobri Salmans, who holds the positions of chairman of the Sharia Supervisory Councils. These 3 figures play an important role throughout the establishment of Bank Islam. In addition, Bank Islam Berhad attach great importance working rules that comply with the principles and laws of Islamic muamalah, which refers to banking and financial affairs to be a trustworthy and ethical banking institutions. These are visions and missions for the Bank Islam Berhad. Therefore, as an organization that ensures the finance of the Muslim community that comply with the Islamic Sharia, and now Bank Islam has been increasingly successful in the strengthening the role and the impact of the Islamic finance to offer a variety of solutions that meet the financial needs of customers. For the product and services, there are various product and services that offered by Bank Islam for the customer that comply with Islamic Sharia. So let me start with product. Firstly, consumer financing products, which refers to the facilities that are specific to the needs of consumer, such as Bank Islam Card. This facility is a direct payment either from saving, current or Al-Alfa account. These contactless payments help to simplify the customer daily life. For example, When buying necessities at the supermarket, consumers can use the PayWave services without withdrawing any cash. For the personal financings, this product offers a personal financing package with a fixed rate which refers to a Sharia-compliant Islamic personal loans. In other words, the consumer does not need to submit any collateral or guarantor to submit their application or make an application. Thirdly, vehicle financings. This product is specifically for a consumer who wants to own a vehicle based on a fixed rate. This package gives many advantages for the consumer, such as there is no processing fee for small-medium enterprise. For the business cash line, this product is financing offered for working capital and asset additions, especially for small-medium enterprise. Thirdly, for the trade financing product is financing under the Murabaha and buy-down contracts to help the traders to finance international and domestic trade, such as letter of credit. This product helps the merchants to complete payment in an easy way and help to provide financing for the invoice value so that the selling price will not be affected of the fluctuations in the base financing. And last one, Bank Islam Berhad also offered various services such as Ar-Rahma Outlet, electronic banking centers, Bureau of Change, SMS banking, branch network, consumer banking services, corporate banking, corporate desktop banking, and so on. For the stock trading, Bank Islam also provide shares buying and selling services through its subsidiaries on the main market of Bursa Malaysia. They also charge as low as RM14 ringgit for each share. That's all for me. Thank you.
First of all, the roles of Bank Islam Malaysia is encourage business growth toward customer. Bank Islam achieve a long-term business expansion that is effective and efficient for their group. The roles of Bank Islam also act as a Sharia advisor through the BIMB Securities Sendirian Berhad. Sharia advisor is to guarantee that the fund's investment operation and management remain compliant with Sharia standard. The Sharia advisor inspect the fund's investment on monthly basis to verify the Sharia compliance as well as all interim and yearly report. The function of Bank Islam is accepting the deposit from customer according to the Al-Wadiyah. By licensing a property or goods according to the principle of Al-Ijara is also function of Bank Islam. In addition, function of Bank Islam is provide hire purchase facility according to the principle of Al-Takjiri. For example, BIMB will buy property or item for its customer. Moving to the next function of BIMB is by providing loan based on Al-Murabaha and Al-Musharaka principle. Through Al-Murabaha, BIMB will buy property or object for its customer. Then the customer will settle the payment in installment according to the payment. By Al-Musharaka, BIMB will contribute part of the capital to fund its client project. The sources of fund of Bank Islam divided into two sources, which is Al-Wadiyah and Al-Murabaha. Wadiyah in Sharia principles refer to a person deposit of earnings or asset with an Islamic financial institution. Next, Al-Murabaha also one of sources of fund in Bank Islam which known as investment account. Al-Murabaha refers to a type of agreement among a provider of capital. In Bank Islam, Al-Afar also introduced by them as investment account. Sources of fund by Bank Islam is letter of credit based on Al-Wakala. Al-Wakala is a person participation on behalf of an individual in certain circumstance. The agreement of agency is made up by a number of constituent components without which the contract would not exist. Next, motor vehicle financing. In Bank Islam, this uses of fund known as Ijara Summa Bai'ai. That is a hire purchase facility that allow customer to rent asset of bank, subsequently purchase the asset from the bank at the end of the lease period. Al-Bay Bitman Ajil is a home or property financing that used by Bank Islam as their uses of fund. It is a customer make an agreement with Bank Islam and they will purchase the goods required by its customer in need of funding.
Profitability ratio. This ratio is used to determine the profitability of Bank Islam at a given level of assets, sales and equity. Islamic Bank only focus on return on assets and return on earning. For return on assets, the figure above shows ROA increases from 2016 to 2019 and decreased in 2020. In 2016, the ratio is at the lowest, which shows that Bank Islam is unable to obtain high profit from the given level of assets compared to the other year. However, Bank Islam did obtain high profits from the given level of assets in the year 2019 since the ROA is the highest in that year. For return on equity, the figure illustrates increasing pattern from 2016 to 2019 until 2020. In 2020, the ratio is at the highest, which indicates that Bank Islam is able to obtain high profit from the given level of equity. Liquidity asset is used to determine whether Bank Islam is able to pay its short-term debt or not. For loan to total asset, the ratio increases gradually from 2016 to 2020. In 2020, the ratio exceeds 50% and considered as high ratio. This indicates that the liquidity of Bank Islam is low and it provides more loans to customers. Besides, high ratio shows that Bank Islam is in risky position and might have higher chance of default. As a result, it will be difficult for the bank to liquidate loan. Based on the figure, the liquid assets to total assets ratio of Bank Islam rise from 2016 to 2017 and decreased right after until the year 2019. Throughout the years, Bank Islam is able to face liquid the most comfortable in the year 2017 and 2020 compared to the rest of years. Asset quality ratio. It can be measured by analyzing the level of non-performing loans, recoveries and adequacy of provisions. Based on the figure, the non-performing loan ratio of Bank Islam decreased gradually from 2016 to 2020. This shows that the number of debtors in default at Bank Islam is declining every year. The decreasing non-performing loan ratio also proves Bank Islam is efficiently control the quality of its assets. The deposit for shareholder fund ratio decreases from 2016 to 2017 and rise in 2018. It decreases from 2018 to 2020. The decreasing pattern of deposit to shareholder fund is much more preferred than an increasing pattern. The core capital ratio shows increasing pattern throughout 2016 until 2018. The lowest bound for core capital ratio to be a good ratio is at 6%, and since the ratio of all years has exceeded 6%, this shows that Bank Islam core capital is sufficient for survival. Capital adequacy ratio. This ratio is used to measure the sufficiency of the capital in order to protect the bank. Risk-weighted capital ratio increases from 2016 to 2018, decreased slightly in 2019 and rise again in 2020. Bank Islam's capital is sufficient to face risk that time, since the ratio is increasing from 2016 to 2018. It shows that Bank Islam capital is sufficient to face risk during that time. In 2019, it's slightly less sufficient but still bearable. Management soundness. This ratio is used to measure quality of management in controlling expenditure and operating expenses of Bank Islam. The figure shows the administrative expenses to total expenditure ratio decreased from 2016 to 2018, increased slightly in 2019 and decreased to 2020. Bank Islam is unable to control its administrative expenses. The decline of the ratio from 2016 to 2018 shows that Bank Islam is unable to manage its non-operating expenses and generate sales during the normal course of operations.
CAMEL is a system used by BNM to evaluate the performance of the overall condition of a financial institution. The evaluations are made based on specific elements from the financial statements of the year. In year 2016, we can see that the average composite ratings of Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad is 2.6. This means that the performance of the bank is acceptable with some associated risks. Next, in year 2017, the bank performance is good, but there is some weaknesses. We can know this because on that year, the bank achieved a ratings of 1.8. Same goes to the year of 2018 and 2019. But in year 2020, the average composite ratings of the bank has increased to 2.8, which is the bank's performance is worsened from the other years before. Maybe this is caused by the pandemics. So now, I will do a comparison between the elements of CAMEL for these 5 years. First, the capital adequacy from year 2016 to 2020 stay at rating 1, which is very strong performance. Same goes to the asset quality that stay at very strong performance for 5 years. For management efficiency, in year 2016, it has high probability of bankruptcy, but in 3 years after, it became very strong. Then at year 2020, it changed back to high probability of bankruptcy. For earnings capability, the performance went from very strong to good, but there is weakness at year 2020. For liquidity, the performance stays at high probability of bankruptcy for these 5 years. That's all from me. Thank you.
We conclude that BINB is facing liquidity problems. BINB also had poor performance, and BINB also had poor management in controlling expenditure and operating expenses. In order to avoid defaults, BINB should reduce the amount of loans. BINB also need to manage the asset efficiently to improve the performance of the company. BINB also need to improve the management of non-operating expenses to be able to generate their normal profits.